Aria is a Russian heavy metal band that was formed in 1985 in Moscow. Although it was not the first Soviet band to play heavy music, Aria was the first to break through to mainstream media and commercial success. According to several public polls, Aria ranks among top 10 most popular Russian rock bands. The sound resembled that of NWOBHM bands, for which they were dubbed the Russian Iron Maiden in the media. Most of Aria's lyrics have been written not by the band's members but by professional poets Margarita Pushkina and Alexander Yelin. Aria is the root of so-called Aria family, several bands formed by its former members. In 1987, 4 ex-members of Aria formed the band Master, who are still considered, along with Aria, one of the most influential Russian metal bands. Vocalist Valery Kipelov, who was the main voice of the band for the majority of albums they have released, departed in 2002 and formed his own heavy metal band Kipelov. Till Lindemann and Amp Richard Krusper of Rammstein have covered an Aria song, Still. In this cover version, the song's name is Germanized and spelled as Still. History. Early days. The band was founded by Vladimir Holstinen and Alek Granovsky, 2 members of the Vypoyushye Serdce. They both had played in the band Alpha, dissolved by that time. Holstinen's idea of creating a heavy metal band was enthusiastically accepted by Granovsky. By 1985 they had most of the material for their album ready. All that remained was to find a recording studio and a vocalist. They asked Viktor Vikstein to be the band's manager and allow them to use his studio. The vocalist position was soon filled by Valery Kipelov. The name Aria was given to the band because it was short, catchy and easily transliterated. There's a version that the band's name was thought up by Holstinen, who owns a guitar from the eponymous manufacturer. Both fans and members of Aria are often informally referred to as Ariatsy. According to the band's website, Aria's birthday is celebrated on the 31st of October 1985, the day they finished working on the first album, Megalomania. The album was noticed by heavy music fans because it was much unlike any hard rock music played in the USSR at the time. Megalomania was recorded with only Holstinen playing guitar. The band needed a second guitarist to be able to play live. As a result, Andrei Bolshakov joined the band. In addition, Igor Molchanov replaced Lvov on drums. Aria's first live show was on the 5th of February 1986 in DKMI. The band was well received by the public, and soon became a laureate of the Rock Panorama 86 and LITHUANIKA 86 festivals. Although they were still being ignored by the media, the popularity kept rising. In November 1986, Aria released the second album, Who Are You With? By this time, the band was divided by arguments concerning both the direction the band was heading and Viktor Vikstein's management skills. After a tour in January 1987, Granovsky, Bolshakov, Molchanov, and Pokrovsky left the band. They were replaced by Vitaly Dubinin as the bass guitarist, Sergei Mavrin as the second guitarist, and Maxim Udalov on the drums. The first large show after the reorganization, and the subsequent tour proved that despite all rumors, the band was not dead. Rise to fame. In August 1987, Aria started working on the new album, Hero of Asphalt, which is considered one of the band's best albums. Hero was Aria's first album published by the state music publishing monopoly Melodia. Every show on the subsequent 2-year tour sold out. Over 1 million copies of the album's LP have been sold. A music video for the song Rose Street was filmed, with the band's fans in mass scenes. During that time, the band's relationship with the manager had reached a critical point. In October 1988, Udalov left the band because of the conflict, and in November Alexander Maniakin was invited to replace him. In 1989, the band then released the next album, Playing with Fire, with Yuri Fishkin as the manager. In 1990, Dubinin and Mavrin signed up with the band Lionheart, and left for Munich, only to return in August after finding an opportunity to cancel the contract. After celebrating the 5-year anniversary with several live shows, the band began to work on the fifth album, Blood for Blood, which was released in 1991. 1990s. In the early 1990s, the band decreased their activity significantly, greatly reducing the number of live shows they performed. In 1994, they created their own studio, Aria Records, and signed a 5-year contract with the label MOROZ Records. As a result, in the summer of 1994, the band's first 5 albums were released, including the earlier unreleased Megalomania and Who You With. In September, they toured through Germany for 2 weeks, with live shows in 7 cities, including Berlin's Hard Rock Café. By the end of the 1994 tour in Germany, the band had a disagreement with the organizers, which also reflected on the relationship within the band. After the tour ended, Kipelov stopped showing up at the studio, where the band was hard at work at the next album. Within a month's time, he was found out to be playing with Master. In December, Alexei Bulgakov tried out as Kipelov's replacement. In January 1995, Sergei Mavrin left the band, stating that he did not believe that the band would succeed without his friend Kipelov. Sergei Terentiev was invited to replace him as a session musician, and later becomes a permanent member of the band. Kipelov returned to the band soon after they were threatened with sanctions by MOROZ Records for breaching the contract. He recorded the vocal parts for the new album Night is Shorter Than Day, which was released in September 1995. The band played a series of concerts in the Moscow area, with Sergei Zadora as the new manager, recording a live album Made in Russia, which ranked highly in the charts. In 1997, Kipelov and Mavrin reunited in the duo album Dark Ages. Dubinin and Holstonen also recorded their own, entitled Aria, where Vitaly participated as a vocalist. In 1998, Aria released Generator of Evil, the album where Terentiev made his debut as a songwriter. Next came Chimera and the breakthrough single Lost Paradise, which did well in the Nash radio chart and raised Aria to the new level of popularity. Judgment Day. In 2001, Aria headlined the Nash Istvi Festival, where they played with a symphonic orchestra. This gave the band the idea for a classical aria tour with an orchestra and a live album of the same name. Unfortunately, this was never released. During the tour, tension among the musicians and the band's management arose. Kipelov refused to record a new album, already written by Dubinin and Holstonen, and declared he wanted to start a solo career. Sergei Terentiev, Alexander Maniakin, and the band's manager Irina Lee supported him, opposing the two band leaders and producer Yuri Sokolov. Classical Aria became the band's farewell tour. After the final gig on the 31st of August 2002 at Lazniki, Moscow, which was entitled Judgment Day, Kipelov, Terentiev, and Maniakin left Aria. The next day, they started a new band named Kipelov. With Arthur Burkett. In November 2002, a new lineup of Aria was announced. Sergei Popov from Master became the second guitarist. Arthur Burkett was invited to be the new vocalist, and drummer Max Udalov returned to the band. On the 5th of December, Aria released the single Colosseum, followed by the album Baptism by Fire. A video for Colosseum was shot. The release was successful. The songs Colosseum and Baptism by Fire reached No. 1 on the rock charts, though many fans criticized it, arguing that Burkett's voice did not fit Aria's music. Burkett and Holston participated in the Elven manuscript metal opera by Epidemia. Arthur played the role of Urdes the Elven Wizard, while Vladimir played the lute and also produced the opera. In 2005, Aria celebrated its 20th anniversary with a new tour. The band's former members were invited to participate in the anniversary tour. Master and Sergei Mavrin played at it, but Kipelov did not, because of his own tour schedule. The newest album, Armageddon, released by CD Maximum, came out in 2006, where Aria invited 2 new lyricists and Burkett made his acute but as composer. On the 3rd of April 2008, Kipelov and Mavrin made a brief reunion with Aria. During the tour celebrating the 20-year anniversary of the release of Geroy Asphalta, in November 2010, Burkett and Kipelov sang on stage together with Aria for the 25th anniversary of the band. The concert was called the Aria Fest, and there were events in St. Petersburg, Moscow and Ekaterinburg. In 2011, Burkett announced his departure from Aria. He was replaced by Mikhail Jitnyakov, vocalist of heavy metal band Had Courage. With Mikhail Jitnyakov in 2011, Aria released Phoenix, followed the next year by Live in the Studio. On November 25, 2014, Aria released the next album, Through All Times. After the Russian annexation of Crimea, the band performed in a few local festivals, however did not express any strong opinion regarding the annexation. Band members: 1985 1986 Valery Kipelov, lead vocals, Vladimir Holston guitar, Alek Granovsky bass guitar, Alexander Lvov drums, Kirill Pokrovsky keyboards. http://www.kirillpokrovsky.com 1986 1987 Valery Kipelov, lead vocals, Vladimir Holston guitar, Andrei Bolshakov guitar, Alek Granovsky bass guitar, Igor Molchanov drums, Kirill Pokrovsky keyboards. 1987 to 1989 Valery Kipelov, lead vocals, Vladimir Holston guitar, Sergei Mavrin guitar, Vitaly Dubinin bass guitar, backing vocals, Maxim Udalov drums. 1989 to 1994 Valery Kipelov, lead vocals, Vladimir Holston guitar, Sergei Mavrin guitar, Vitaly Dubinin bass guitar, backing vocals, Alexander Maniakin drums. 1995 to 2002 Valery Kipelov, lead vocals, Vladimir Holston guitar, Sergei Terentiev guitar, Vitaly Dubinin bass guitar, backing vocals, Alexander Maniakin drums. 2002 to 2011 Arthur Burkett, lead vocals, Vladimir Holston guitar, Sergei Popov guitar, Vitaly Dubinin bass guitar, backing vocals, Maxim Udalov drums. Current Mikhail Jitnyakov, lead vocals, Vladimir Holston guitar, Sergei Popov guitar, Vitaly Dubinin bass guitar, backing vocals, Maxim Udalov drums. Timeline discography: 1985, 1986, 1987, 1989, 1991, 1995, 1998, 2001, 2003, 2006, 2011, 2014. Music videos.